Hello, my fellow cigar smokers and whiskey enthusiasts. We are here for another pairing. We're checking out today the 12-year-old Bowmore. I have an extra small bottle for tasting. And the Camacho Nicaragua. I'm excited to see how the pairing of these two beauties are going to turn out. Stay tuned. First things first, let's get this cigar started, and then we talk a little about what we are actually pairing here today. Nicaragua, Camacho, good one. We already made a review of this one. It's a good cigar. Smells actually not giving me so much. A little bit of wood and some herbal floral notes, something like this. Today I'm in mood for a weak cat. Looks clean. Cold draw. Woody notes. Some dried leaves. Hay. Something like this. Let's get this thing started. You know, guys, actually, of all the pairings you can do, actually, a cigar paired with good whiskey, hard to beat, I'm telling you. But it's not so easy to find the right whiskey for the right cigar. So first few puffs, you can already feel that it's a strong cigar. Pepper notes. We still have this aroma coming from some kind of wood. Spice that is coming from the Nicaraguan tobacco. So, if you know what kind of cigar you are smoking, you know what kind of whiskey you need in order to make it good. Oh, look at the sun here. Nice effect. Of course, you need to know what cigar you have so that you can choose the right whiskey. Or the other way around, if your primary object of taste is the whiskey, then you need to find the right cigar for the whiskey you are trying. So in this case, my first choice was the cigar. So my thought was, I want to smoke the Nicaragua, the Camacho Nicaragua. What whiskey could possibly be a good pairing for this kind of cigar? It's a strong cigar, spicy, bold flavors. So it must be something like that is equally strong somehow. And that's why I choose the Bowmore. 12 years old, a single malt Scotch whiskey. Bowmore is distilling on the little island on the west side of Scotland, where all the peaty whiskies are from, Islay. Islay. Ila. There are a couple of distilleries over there. They have one thing in common. They're all making strong and very peaty whiskies. Peaty, smoky, strong. So you need something that can hold up against this Camacho Nicaragua. I have here, and I have to show you this, guys. That's a fantastic tumbler. It actually has a little, see here, these curved in thing. That's perfect for placing your cigar. Isn't it great? And on the inside, actually, Winston Churchill. It's a Davidoff tumbler. Black, very heavy. I like this one. So, let's get the whiskey in there. We can enjoy it. Nice color. Unfortunately, you can see, well, see here, you can see the color. It's not completely transparent, but it's golden looking. Sweetness. You can smell the peat and some fruitiness. So, different ways to start the pairing. I love to start with the puff of a cigar. Take your time. Concentrate on the flavors and what you're doing. Now you have the flavor in your mouth. Whiskey. Coming together. The peatiness, so the smoky flavors, together with this very good smoking cigar. You know, the whiskey is actually not far behind the cigar. Cigar is very strong. It's very in the foreground. You can taste a lot of cigar. But when you start drinking the whiskey, the flavors are combined together. We have the peatiness, so the smoky flavors, coming together with the spice and the wooden aromas of the cigar. It's like you have a fruity piece of wood in your mouth. Lovely. Great combination. But it develops, the cigar develops when it's coming to the second quarter, the second third, well, also the second quarter. The cigar actually develops its aromas, changing a little bit. I mean, not the primary flavors are still the same, you know, but here and there are new flavors adding to it. And in case of the Nicaragua, the spicy flavors are getting stronger when you're smoking the cigar. And this very strong pepper note you had in the beginning, it's slowly fading away. So I would bet if you like smoking the cigar for 15, 20 more minutes, and you're trying then it together with the whiskey. It's a new experience then. So if you remember right, we were starting with a puff of the cigar and mixing it then together with the whiskey. When we're doing it the other way around, that's also a new experience. So, starting with the whiskey. Leave the whiskey in your mouth for a few seconds. Don't just drink it and pour it down your throat. Drink it, leave it in your mouth. Then you will see there's this little burning effect on the skin. That's the alcohol. But then the flavors, while it's not an explosion, we want to have no explosions in our mouth. But the flavors kind of separate each self, and you can actually make a difference. Out of the different flavors. So we have the fruit, we have vanilla. Overall, it's this umbrella of peat and smokiness, and that's holding everything together. And then the cigar. The spice is coming to it. The spice is adding his flavors, his aroma to the whiskey flavors. The woody notes that's so perfectly coming together with the peatiness and the smokiness. Completely different. You have to try it yourself. Smoke the cigar, make a few puffs, drink the whiskey. Wait. You can neutralize the taste when you're just drinking water or something else, and then try the other way around. Then drink the whiskey first, concentrate on the flavors of the whiskey, and then make a few puffs of the cigar. It's different. Concentrate on it, and you will see it's different, really. While you're enjoying it, maybe, let me tell you a little bit about the Camacho Nicaragua and its Bowmore. Camacho Nicaragua, actually the most recent addition to the Camacho lineup. You know, we have the Corojo, we have the Ecuador, we have the Hard Charger, and Criollo, everything was coming together. So, newest one is the Nicaragua. They changed something. They were taking out of their program the Gordo Vitola, which was up to then my favorite size, and now we have the Gran Toro. Seven inches long. And the ring gauge is a little bit smaller, but more or less the same amount of tobacco. Ecuador Habano leaf. We have tobacco from the Dominican Republic, Honduras, and Nicaragua. The funny thing is, just one of the tobaccos in the Nicaragua is from Nicaragua, and they call it Nicaragua. I don't know why. Probably more or less marketing. But the Nicaragua tobacco in the filler has some dominance, because the spice that you can taste in the cigar, that's coming from the tobacco from Nicaragua. It's typical. So somehow there seems to be an idea behind it. And for the size, it's like €9 and I think 80 cents or so. So So that's around, I think, $10.50 or $11, something like this. Very good price for very good cigar. And on the liquid side, we have this Bowmore. Very old distillery. Where's the bottle? Over here. 1779. Since then, these guys are doing whiskey on this small island on the west side of Scotland. I would say they're making some, not sure if you can say it's old-fashioned, but they do it very traditionally. No fancy things around it. You know, they put it when you have the 12-year-old. It's majored in oak barrels, very traditionally, resting in there for 12 years, developing its aroma, the strengths that it needs, and it's getting a lot of the vanilla aromas from the oak barrels, that are old bourbon barrels, where they're maturing the Bowmore in. So it's extracting the vanilla aroma from the bourbon that is held inside the wood of the barrel, getting the aromas out of there, and it's flowing inside the whiskey. So we have the vanilla, we have the sweetness that's coming from the vanilla. And for the distilling process, as a primary source of heat, well, it's actually a distilling process. It's let's say, the process of manufacturing the whiskey. Actually, they're roasting the barley over flames that are produced by peat, and they're getting the peat from the same island there where the distillery is. So it's very typical aroma. That's where I'm getting its smokiness and the peatiness from. Good combination. I would give it another try. Let's say, when we're in the second third, because then we have a few different aromas on the cigar, and then we have a little bit, there's a tiny aspect of difference then when you're then combining it with the whiskey. Wonder how it will taste. So we smoked the half of the cigar. So we are somewhere between the second and the last third. Taste-wise, cigar developed, like I said. The spice is a little bit more prominent, a little bit more in the foreground. The pepper notes vanished completely. And there is still a little bit of these wooden flavors. All combined with this, I would say, main aroma of dried leaves. It's a very special flavor. I actually can't remember that I had it in another cigar. Well, I like it. So we have a little bit of different flavors due to the development. The whiskey is, of course, still the same. There's no development in the 20 minutes while it was in the glass. And we're doing the same procedure now again. Oh, smoking. Now we have the nice effect that the whiskey is shifting towards the foreground. Before, the cigar was the cigar was giving the main flavors, and the whiskey was a little bit in the background, just adding up the flavors. Now it's the whiskey is a little bit more in the foreground because all the flavors of the cigar, they changed a little bit, and it's giving it more room for the whiskey. And in general, then it's a little bit milder than in comparison to where we started. After all, that is not a combination for people who are just smoking their first cigars or not very much into the whiskey thing. It's a strong cigar, it's a strong whiskey, so you need to know what you're doing. Otherwise, when you're smoking this cigar and drinking this whiskey, I don't want you to fall off your chair and your socks start burning when you're doing this. Be careful. It's a very strong combination. You have to like peaty whiskeys, you have to like strong cigars. If you're into both of it, great combination. Camacho Nicaragua, I would suggest for a good whiskey pairing, take the Grand Churchill. Gives you a lot of aromas. There's a lot of development in there, and take a strong whiskey like the Bowmore 12 years. Great combination. I would love you to check it out. Let me know in the comments what you think. I would love to hear how you like our new series here, the pairing, and even it would be great if you're trying the same thing and let me know what you think. Or if you were trying the whiskey or the Churchill, what you used for combinations. Maybe different whiskey, a different cigar, would be great to know. Other than that, I hope you smoke a great cigar. I hope you have a great whiskey. Stay tuned. We will be back again.